This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the show where I talk to you about running an insurance agency. Talk about staffing and marketing and retention and sales. And if you can master those four things and build the proper systems for those four things, you will absolutely be successful. So today, I want to give you something for free. If you send me a text to 208-213-8809 and you send me the word free, I am building a resource for you with, right now it's got a dozen resources for you for free. There are assets from my course. There are podcasts from leaders in the industry, Facebook pages for leaders in the industry, assets from other leaders in the industry, and they're all free. So I'd ask you to get in and send me a text, 208-213-8809. There's a ton of stuff in there that can help you move forward today. So get in. On with the show. Hey, what's up? All right, today I wanted to tell a sales story. It's important to know. So this might not be for everybody, but it's for me. Like, I love to chase business. Sometimes it doesn't even matter how much, I'm not even thinking how much money that I'm going to make. Obviously that can play a part of it if you're chasing a big policy, but I just want the win. Okay. I want the win. I want to put the work in, and I want somebody to tell me, yes, I want to buy from you. It's been like that for me from the beginning, and it's really helped me. And I don't care how long it takes for me to get the yes. So, story, I have a client. We have her personal lines. I insure her commercial building, and we have a couple of smaller policies. She owns a flower company, and they're not a florist though. They're kind of like a drop shipper. So people go online, order flowers, and have them shipped kind of raw. Works with a lot of brides, weddings, stuff like that. It's a big business. They're a $9 million business. So I've been a client of her, or she's been a client of mine for probably 5 years now. How did I get in front of her originally? I had her on my podcast, None of My Business, where I've interviewed about 150 local business owners. That's how a lot of my relationships have started in town. How did I get in front of her? She was referred to me by somebody else that I interviewed. It goes all the way back there. So when you spend time with someone, you spend 2 hours with someone, interviewing them about their business, showing interest in their business, and then you sit down and you record their story, you give it to them, and you share it with the world. It's a great way to start a working relationship, right? So she really appreciated it, and she has got me in front of 6 or 7 other people to interview. Anyway, there was one piece of business that I was not able to write for her, and it was the general liability for her flower company, because she was in a position, she was with a company, and the policy was really good, and it was really competitive from a pricing standpoint. A few years ago, I couldn't even find a market for it. Drop shipping is a weird risk. It was hard to find. My company wouldn't do it. I couldn't find another company to do it. And if I did, eventually it was, 2 to 3 times as much. She was with a reputable company. And I told her that. I slowly started pulling over all this other business at the time, but I could not capture this one. So we did a review in May of this year. Matt, let's get together and take a look at all our stuff. So I go out to her place, sit down in her conference room. I lay out all the stuff, and she's like, she's like, what about my general liability? I said, well, it's with this other company. It's always been with this other company. She says, well, can you take it? And I was like, yeah, sure. I can try again. And so I come back, and I have some new carriers since the last time I looked at this, and I find a company. I'm like, okay, this is good. I quote it up, and I am at $12,000. Her current policy is at just under $7,000. But I don't think her current policy is up to date. Okay. She doesn't have a real tight relationship with that other carrier. I do not believe that her sales and or payroll has been updated. So I think that 7,000 is low. All right. So the chase begins, right? I got to make sure that my 12,000 is not, I got to make sure her other policy should be more. That's what I'm like. There's no way that she's updated her sales with that other company, because I know that she barely knows where it's at, because that's just, it's not a priority of hers, right? And I know that the other company isn't auditing and isn't calling to get that information. So I work with her assistant, her, I work with assistant, let's call her assistant number one. Okay. And I'm communicating with her. I'm like, okay, can you do me a favor and get me a copy of your general liability policy? She sends me a certificate of insurance, right? I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, thank you for this. This is great. This is actually a certificate of insurance. I'd like to see the policy to see what the coverages are. It takes about another week. I'm not going to go through everything I did because I was looking through my history and I emailed 4 people in this business 20 times over the course of 5 months to get this deal. Okay. So I'm working with assistant number one. She's helping me collect information. Eventually I get the policy. Okay. It doesn't say how much they're being rated on for sales. So I know how much they're doing in sales because I asked them, how much do you do in sales? She says 9 million. Okay. So that's what I put in my quote, 9 million worth of sales, which is how I get the $12,000 premium. So I go back, I got to coach her assistant. I'm like, okay, I need you to reach out to this other company and I need you to find out how much they have you down for sales. She says, okay, she's good. She's doing the work for us, right? So she does. She calls, she goes, they have us at, 6 million. I was like, okay. I'm thinking, good. So now I can kind of eyeball how much more their liability should be because they're about 66%, of what they should be for pay or for sales. So long story short is eventually I get my proposal in front of, I got it in front of the assistant. I did a BombBomb video walking her through it. I said, look, this is a very good policy I have for you. It's $12,000. Okay. I know your policy says $7,000. It should be about 9. Okay. Because you're being rated at 6 million of payroll or sales. You should be at 9 million of payroll or sales. So you should be at 9. I said, my policy is a little bit stronger, it's a little bit better. It's got better coverage here, here, and here. I said, I really like this policy for you. You can grow into it even more. I really like this. I can be your agent. This is what I got for you. So I sent it out to the assistant. What happens next? The assistant quits. So, and my business owner's out in a different country, 6 weeks or something like that. Later, I get a call from her CFO. She's like, hey, do you have some information on the building? Because I need to know the building's covered properly. I said, yeah, here you go. I got a proposal out in the wind, to this business owner. Can you help me get this in front of her? She says, yeah, I'll take a look at it. So I get it to her. I send 2 or 3 emails to her CFO. Then I get an email from assistant number 2, the one that replaced assistant number 1. She starts communicating with me. She says, hey, I hear there's, a proposal out there. Can you get that to me? So I get the proposal to her with the video. She's going to sit down with the owner the next day. They go through it together. She responds to me. She's like, you know what? We're going to go with you. This is 5 months, 20 emails, and 4 people involved on this close. I loved closing this deal. All right. It made me so happy. It's a $12,000 premium policy. That's nice for me. It's not life changing or anything like that, but it captures more of this account for me. It's a policy I've been chasing literally for 5 years. I finally got, this is the way I'm wired. I just want you to know that sometimes if you're willing to chase this hard and be that dedicated to try and earn business, you'll eventually get it. Now, some people may think, well, there's no way I'm going to work that hard to get a policy. Well, I would say this is why abundance is so important. This is not the only policy I've been chasing for 5 months, okay? I've got a list of people that I'm chasing. This is just one that I follow up with once a week until I get it, okay? It's not a lot of work to send a follow-up email. It's more emotionally taxing. I've said this before. It's more emotionally taxing to be like, oh my God, why won't they respond? Why won't they respond? Why won't they respond? I did it again yesterday with a guy I'm trying to close a life policy with. I have texted and called him 5 times in 2 weeks, and he's not given me anything back. And this is a buddy of mine. I finally called him. I'm like, hey man, will you just let me know if this is something that you want? Because you told me you did, and now I haven't heard from you. He's like, I know, man. I'm sorry. I'm remodeling a house, and It's busy. He goes, can you tell me about this again? I tell him about it again. He's like, okay, I'll get to it. I'll send it to you. If I didn't follow up on these things, they die on the vine and I don't get these policies. Okay. The chase is really important. So I would encourage you, anything that you've given up on recently, crank it back up again. Okay. Go get it. It's there for you. These people need you to hold their hands. I swear to God, I'm chasing 2 more life policies from a couple that I've been trying to sell a life policy to for 10 freaking years. And they're right there. And honestly, I want the count, but I just want the policies. The stick-to-itiveness. No, that's not a word. Staying with things is important to me. And this is how I've grown. If I wasn't this aggressive with the way I chase business, my business would be significantly smaller than it is today. Okay. So chase. Don't take it personally. Go get it. These people are busy. I'm chasing someone that's running a $9 million business. Okay. She does not think about insurance every day. I do. So do you. Okay. Stay with it. That's what I got today. My name's Matt. This is Agency Launch. You can find me all over the place. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Threads and Instagram at Dietz Agency. Don't forget to send me a text, 208-213-8809. Send me the word free. It has a ton of free resources waiting for you to help you grow your business. And that's what I got. Thank you so much. Keep up the good work.
Anywhere the wind blows, anywhere the fire